Sir, when someone has wronged us or has abused us in some way, we either have feelings of hostility and resentment.
Oh, we must file a suit.
No, in a minor sense, if they abuse us or if they wrong us, we sometimes have feelings of resentment and hostility against them, and sometimes we might tend to forgive them and let it go. So my question here is, where must we draw a line to hold the wrongdoer responsible for what he does, and when should we know to forgive him, and when should we know to let it go? So this is the question.
See, this is not about the other person. The choice for you is this. If you are given a choice, right now, for all of you, if you are given a choice that you can either live joyfully, blissfully, or miserably, or in anger, or in stress, or in resentment, what is your natural choice? You must choose, I'm going to bless you right now. What is your natural choice? Joyfully, isn't it? Because every human being is looking for highest level of pleasantness for himself or herself. You can call it joy, you can call it bliss, these are just words. Essentially, we want highest level of pleasantness for ourselves. If your body becomes pleasant, we call this health. If it becomes very pleasant, we call this pleasure. If your mind becomes pleasant, we call this peace. If it becomes very pleasant, we call this joy. If your emotions become pleasant, we call this love. If it becomes very pleasant, we call it compassion. If your very life energies become pleasant, we call this bliss. If it becomes very pleasant, we call it ecstasy. If your surroundings become pleasant, we call this success. Only to make your surroundings pleasant, you need the cooperation of all these people. Because in creating an external situation, there are many forces involved. Not all of them you even know. You understand? You want to create a wonderful situation for yourself, you don't even know how many forces are working in that area. If you harness a few forces, if they cooperate, things will happen. If they don't cooperate, it won't happen. But for the pleasantness of the body, pleasantness of the mind, pleasantness of your emotion and energy, it's 100% you. Yes or no? Is that yes or no? No, no, because in some cultures this is yes, in some cultures this is, Yes, right?
Yes.
Surroundings, creating situations in the surroundings, you need cooperation from the people, otherwise it won't happen. So only for success, you need cooperation. To keep yourself pleasant is 100% yours. So right now, you know well that you want to be peaceful, but somebody else is doing something. What are they doing? They know what they know best. They're abusing you. Why are they doing it? Because that's all they know. Yes or no? That is how they know their life. That's why they're doing it. If you become resentful and you think something will happen to them, see, these are things. Anger, resentment, hatred, these are all poisons that you drink and you expect somebody else to die. No, life doesn't work like that. You drink poison, you die. It's a very fair life. If you drink poison, you die. Very fair, isn't it so? I drink poison and you die, is it fair? So, people who are in anger, resentment, hatred, this is their thing. They are drinking poison. When I say poison, I am not saying in a moral sense. There is substantial medical evidence right now that we can show you with a blood test that 5 minutes before you take your blood test right now, 5 minutes you may remain in extreme anger and take your blood test, you will see you're chemically poisoned actually. So you're literally poisoning yourself, thinking it's going to hurt them. No, it's only going to hurt you. So it doesn't make sense to me, that's all. It's not a morality, whether you should get angry or not get angry. It's up to you if you want to make a mess out of yourself.
Sadhguru, many of my colleagues and I are soon going to begin our professional careers, so there may be occasions in the course of our career where we are confronted with certain moral dilemmas. For example, a situation where you're required to defend someone you know is guilty, or a situation where you have to prosecute someone you know is innocent. Now, the law says that every accused is entitled to an attorney and the right to a fair trial. Now, if I decide to defend this particular accused individual and I defend him successfully, then should I be pleased with the acquittal, or should I regret the fact that the victim has not received justice? So how do I reconcile this conflict between my conscience and my professional obligations?
See, your profession is a constitutional obligation. You have no business to see what is right and wrong. Your business is just to interpret the constitution for the well-being of the citizen who comes to you. Crime he has committed maybe, but sometimes the crimes are so heinous, then the human question will come up, should I save this guy at all? So, this is not don't make this into a moral dilemma. This is a professional thing where you must decide, are you fulfilling your constitutional responsibility or no? This is not for you to take a moral stand, okay, this guy has done something that I don't like, so let him hang. This is not for you to decide. Your business is just to interpret the law so that everybody gets a fair this thing. This once happened, can I tell you a joke? He's a very serious lawyer, you are. This happened. Shankaran Pillai was accused of murder. Accused of murder. So he went on pleading not guilty, not guilty, not guilty. After 4 years, when the case was nearly coming to a close, suddenly he said, okay, I will plead guilty. So the judge asked, all these 4 years, whatever we said, you went on saying not guilty, now you are saying guilty, what is this? He said, at that time, I had not heard the evidence. So, when somebody commits a crime, of course he tries to save his skin, all right? And when somebody commits a crime, it's not for everybody to take a call. Right now it's happening on the social media and even in the television channels, okay, hang him, castrate him, do this, do that. If you go by this, then lynching is what you will do in the end. Why go to the court? Let's lynch them when we see they've done something wrong. Because when something really terrible happens in front of you, or you come to know it's happened, it's not just robbery, some terrible things are being done, all right? When really terrible things happen, the crowd will want to lynch that guy. Even regular people, responsible people in the country are uttering these words, I would like to be the hangman for this guy. So why they're saying this is, yes, your humanity burns when you see such things happening, but you as a lawyer, your business is just to interpret the law, to stay within the framework of the constitution. It's not for you, because you know this guy has committed the crime, it's not for you to take a gun and shoot that guy in the court. That's not your business. That should happen through due process. Even if it looks unjust, what is unjust is the length of time that these legal procedures are taking. If we want justice to be reasonable and human or humane, it's very important, the time has to be reduced. This time is killing people and this time is making people do extrajudicial stuff simply because the amount of time it's taking. This has to change.
So, it was an extremely insightful explanation wherein you talked about why certain mobs or why certain individuals take law in their own hands. May it be the judicial delays, may it be the time-consuming process. Just one clarificatory question I had here is that while the absence of adequate legal infrastructure might propel them to do such acts, are such acts justified despite the inadequate legal infrastructure? That's one
I
question.
thought I made that extremely clear in the previous answer. Anything outside the framework of law, the moment you think it's all right, however nice and right it may look to you, then you're breaking the nation.
May it be as a lawyer or as a citizen?
Even as a citizen. But at the same time, when there is no law, when the law is skewed in somebody else's favor, I know I will not get justice, something terrible happens to me, you can't stop this human being from doing it. So it is both ways. Is it correct? It is definitely not correct. Nobody has the right to do it. But you cannot use that position and keep on keeping people in a state of injustice. They will act in their own way. So, legal reforms need to happen rapidly, otherwise you will see things going, people taking it in their own hands.
Thank you for the answer.